Thank you for tuning in once again. I am so excited about today's topic because it is a topic of interest to me, and that is Dr. John Gottman's Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. So, if you do not know who Dr. John Gottman is, I will tell you. He is a world-renowned relationship specialist. So, he's well known for the Gottman Institute, and I actually have completed level 1 of John Gottman's relationship therapy techniques, and it was wonderful. I loved it. I appreciated my school for bringing that opportunity to me, and I do hope to work with couples in the future. So within his research, he found that there were 4 different characteristics that a couple exhibited that would play a factor into if they would stay together or not. And this is really interesting because looking at these 4 characteristics, it is a 93% accuracy rate. If you are exhibiting these characteristics, it is not likely that you and your partner will stay together. So that's why they're called the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. And let me just do a disclaimer. So if you feel that any of these 4 characteristics you are exhibiting or you are seeing in your partner, please do not go and have some sort of talk and sit down and you gotta end. No, you do not have to end anything with your partner if you feel like this is happening, because behavior can be changed. So this is your opportunity to learn and to take a look at yourself and maybe share this information. Okay, so now I'm going to start with the first criteria. The first criteria is criticism. So criticism is verbally attacking your partner. And so there is a very distinct difference between criticizing and complaining. So it is okay to see something that you don't like and say something about it. However, the way in which you use your words and the way in which you say these things are what makes that difference between just serving a complaint and then or criticizing your partner. So criticizing looks like, oh, you never, oh, you always. It's pointing the blame at that person and saying and attributing what they're doing to their character. So you don't do this, you can't do this, I asked you to do one thing and you always do the opposite, or something like that. So we don't want to criticize our partners. We don't want to generalize one situation and say that that is what they always do, that's who they are, they will never change because that is just them. Like, that is putting the person down. So instead, you want to start your sentences and you want to start your complaints, or you want to voice a concern by saying, I feel like this, that, and the third, or I want this to happen, or I would suggest this. And that way you're giving the room for communication between you and your partner. Okay, the second characteristic is contempt. And so contempt is like criticism, but on steroids. So it's blaming the person. You are basically being mean, you're being disrespectful, you may be making fun of them, mocking them, trying to put them down, and it's all to make you seem like the more superior person within the partnership. So you're saying things basically to hurt them, or even if it's not intentional, you are saying powerful things that hurts your partner. So it is important to note that when you're in a relationship, you're going to have disagreements, and it's okay to be angry, and it's okay to voice your anger. Anger is not a bad emotion. It's how we are exhibiting the anger. And if you're exhibiting that anger and trying to make that person feel less than, that is contemptuous behavior. So contempt is really interesting, and it's actually fueled by some type of anger or some type of deep down resentment between the partnerships. And so you take that anger, that moment of anger, to put that out there. And it's interesting because John Gottman's research showed that contempt is the number 1 factor in divorce, and couples who show contempt have a higher rate of getting sick, which is very interesting. So So it's not only doing something to your relationship, but it is physically exhausting to exhibit these types of behaviors. So one way to, I guess, counteract the contempt within a relationship would be to just remember the positive and to remain positive. If you are in a relationship with that person, it has to be because you find something attractive about them. So instead of bringing their negative attributes to the front, think of the positive. Don't try to push them down in the middle of an argument, because it would make you feel better. That may be something that you need to work on within yourself, because you shouldn't have to make your partner feel like crap to make you feel better, no matter what the argument is about. Okay, so the third characteristic is defensiveness. And so we all know what defensive is. When we are feeling attacked, we can get defensive. But within a relationship, defensive looks like not accepting accountability for anything, and then in turn making the other person feel like it was their responsibility. So then shifting the blame. So with the defensiveness, it's kind of tricky, because the person who is being defensive won't take blame. So if they won't take blame, they don't see that there's anything wrong with the patterns or the behaviors that they're exhibiting. And within in turn, they wouldn't change it because they don't think that it's a problem. So to alleviate defensiveness, it's going to be up for the person who is being defensive to really sit down and check themselves. They have to take responsibility for their actions. They have to be held accountable for the things that they said they will do, or else there's not any trust within the partnership. And it also may be worth exploring some healthy conflict resolutions that may work with you and your partner, whether that's research, whether that's going to couples counseling, whether that's just Googling healthy ways to communicate. So the fourth and final horseman of the apocalypse is stonewalling. So stonewalling it's pretty major, because essentially it means that you just shut down. You're not talking, you're avoiding your partner, whether that's not coming home, whether that's when you see them, you walk the other way, whether that's you're busy all the time, you have just completely shut down. Any questions that they may have or any conflicts that may arise, you have 0 words. You don't say anything. And so that's dangerous, because at this point, the lines of communication have been closed. So there's no way of resolving whatever the situation may be, because one person is not talking. So stonewalling is usually in result to contemptuous behavior within the relationship. So if you are putting your partner down, making them feel like shit, making them feel worthless, it is a chance that they could stonewall you. They could just stop speaking to you altogether. So one way to help with stonewalling, or to prevent stonewalling, is to take a break. However, John Gottman in the Gottman Institute says the break should be about 15, no longer than 20 minutes, where you are doing something to totally get your mind off of what has just occurred, and you come back and revisit the conversation. And it's important to leave, and it's also important to come back. So when you are feeling yourself about to explode, when you are feeling every emotion at once, it is okay to take a step away, to do your thing, regroup, and to revisit it a little bit later. So those are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, created by Dr. John Gottman in the Gottman Institute. And they are criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said before, if you think that you are exhibiting any of these characteristics, now's the time to change that behavior. If you think that your partner exhibits any of these characteristics, now is the time to educate. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in, and that's the resolution.